You can't blackball me! You can't! Listen, I'm telling you, I'm going on a 7-day rant. You better unfollow me because I'm going on a 7-day rant. Y'all try to blackball me on radio. Y'all try to blackball me on radio. Apple Music, Spotify didn't give us no playlisting.
The career of 24-year-old Daniel Hernandez, popularly known as Tekashi 6ix9ine, has been dipped in controversy from the onset, so much so that people know him for barely anything good. Yes, it's that bad. Keep watching to find out why rappers are scared of him, as we've made some revelations. How it all began. In 2015, he faced a child sex charge for posting a video with sexual content starring a 13-year-old girl and him. Tekashi admitted to this, claiming he wasn't aware she was a minor. And just more recently, in his home state of New York, Tekashi 6ix9ine was arrested on firearms charges and was then accused of having involvement with the notorious gang, 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods gang. Accusations included crimes such as drug trafficking, armed robbery, and murder conspiracies. Tekashi 6ix9ine snitched on the gang by giving information on them to the authorities to save him from a 47-year jail term. It was later reduced to just a 2-year sentence. The snitching led to a global wave of resentment by other rappers and notable figures in the hip-hop community. It's no wonder Tekashi 6ix9ine is acclaimed to be one of the most hate-watched people in the world.
Hey, I'm playing. He don't get no passes, man. We don't do no snitching out here. He don't get no pass. No pass. No pass.
6ix9ine's fame originated from SoundCloud, and like many other rappers such as Juice WRLD and Lil Peep, whose young lives were clouded in depression and death before dying at the age of 21, maybe this was just another way to prove that popularity can be achieved faster with flirtations with death. It's believed that 6ix9ine's life is in danger after snitching on the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods gang. Life and career of Tekashi 6ix9ine. Daniel Hernandez was born on May 8, 1996 and is known professionally as Tekashi 6ix9ine or 6ix9ine. He's an American rapper and songwriter. His music has been marked by an aggressive style of rapping, while his controversial public persona is characterized by his distinctive rainbow-colored hair, extensive tattoos, legal issues, and publicized celebrity feuds. After his release from prison, his single Gooba debuted and peaked at number 3 in the US, and Trolls, his third collaboration with Minaj, debuted at number 1 in the country. His second album, Tattletales 2020, debuted at number 4 on the US Billboard 200. For his role as a witness for the prosecution in the 9 Trey Gangsters trial, Tekashi 6ix9ine has been near universally condemned and ostracized by other members of the hip-hop industry. Although he's enjoyed some commercial success since his release from prison, Tekashi has effectively been blacklisted from major streaming platforms and radio. Musical style and influences. Tekashi 6ix9ine's music is generally categorized as hip-hop, or more specifically, scream rap, hardcore hip-hop, SoundCloud rap, and punk rap with elements of drill, heavy metal, hardcore punk, grime, crunk, trap music, and reggaeton sometimes evident. He's influenced by the likes of DMX, Tupac Shakur, the Notorious B.I.G., and 50 Cent. Personal life. Tekashi speaks Spanish. He sang in Spanish on 3 tracks, Bebe and Mala, with Puerto Rican rapper Anuel AA in 2018, then Yaya in 2020. Tekashi 6ix9ine also suffers from asthma. Tekashi 6ix9ine grew up as a Christian in a Christian home. In an interview with American radio personality Angie Martinez, he stated, "I pray a lot. I always thank God for good situations. Every time there's a good situation, there's a cell in my brain that says, say thank you to God. Before I blew up, for a year and a half, 400 and something days, I literally prayed every day while walking my dog Titus. I would pray every day, God, please change my life. God, please change my life. I'm a good kid. Please change my life. I got a baby. I can't even buy her Pampers. Please change my life. Please change my life." And then Gummo came and life changed. And then I was like, damn, God is real. I knew if I prayed every day it would work, because God is real and my life has changed. On March 23, 2018, Tekashi conducted a radio interview on The Breakfast Club alongside Australian pastor Brian Houston. When Tekashi 6ix9ine was 18, he had a daughter, Soraya Hernandez, who was born on October 29, 2015, with Sarah Molina, born January 17, 1996. He also has another daughter, Briella Iris Hernandez, born on the 19th of November in 2018, with Marlena M. A few weeks before Hernandez headed to prison at the end of 2018, he began dating Jade, whose real name is Rachel Watley. She has Hernandez's face tattooed twice on her body. On October 1st, 2020, Hernandez was reportedly hospitalized after having an overdose from mixing 2 hydroxycut diet pills with a McDonald's McCafe coffee. He's claimed that he came to weigh more than 200 pounds after leaving prison, but has said that using the medication had helped him shed 30 pounds since he was released. His lawyer denies the overdose claim. The fame of Tekashi 6ix9ine. After completing his jail term, Tekashi released his comeback single titled Gooba, and it became the most watched hip-hop music video on YouTube in a 24-hour period. People tuned in to see the face-tatted social media celebrity on house arrest and fresh from prison after an astonishing and highly publicized legal case flash his ankle bracelet, leer at paint-splattered women, and give an obnoxious grin. In a brief but telling jump cut acknowledging that he outraged members of the hip-hop community by ratting, Tekashi transforms into a cartoon rodent. At the time of writing, the YouTube views of Gooba stand at more than 279 million. 6ix9ine had been building momentum for what that moment would be. So much of that is the story element around him. Because social media plays into that so much, the entire scenario reads like a continuous Twitter thread. You're always tuned in even when the music isn't there, says Kathy Iandoli, a New Jersey-based hip-hop writer. Since hip-hop is founded on anti-authoritarian values, one would think that ratting out would have meant the disgraceful end of Tekashi's music career. You would think so, agrees Iandoli, but you're talking about a different type of hip-hop. You can't hold these new artists who came up on social media to the hip-hop standard code on the streets in the 90s. They don't even match in sound and style, in content, in lifestyle, so why start there? Everything he does is attention-grabbing, says KSI, a YouTube star with more than 30 million subscribers across 2 accounts on the platform, who recently reached number 2 in the UK charts with his hip-hop album, Dissimulation. He has so much hype around him that it makes sense he would be getting 200 million plus views on YouTube. You've got to respect it. Obviously, I don't respect him. Actually, I don't want to get into that, but I respect when it comes to what he's done with the music. Before working with 6ix9ine at Within, a New York agency that builds itself as the world's first performance branding company, Zane Comer was an associate creative director at Facebook, putting him in an interesting position to understand how the rapper uses social media to his advantage. He says that 6ix9ine has achieved his undeniable streaming success through a fundamentally great understanding of how to manufacture controversy, and also inputs that it doesn't matter whether you like it or not, you paid him with your time. You paid him with your attention, which he earned. Comer goes on to say that during their video call meetings, he was impressed by 6ix9ine's laser focus in using his brand for maximum exposure. Most of the artists we work with make their decisions from a perspective of, this is what I like because I think it's cool. Whereas everything he brought to the table was, this is gonna work because my audience will resonate with it. He cites the image of the cartoon rat. The original plan was for a rodent with tattoos and colored hair, like 6ix9ine himself, but the rapper chose to simplify this. Comer explains, he said, if we make it close to the mouse emoji, it'll travel more. It's more of a known symbol, so people can take it from the iPhone emoji kit and put it on anything they want. If we manipulate it too much, it's not gonna travel as well. This, he says, is part of the reason that Gooba was such a massive hit on TikTok and why it smashed YouTube records. Like Iandoli and KSI, Comer says that 6ix9ine trades on the chaotic narrative around his own life, though the creative director calls this cultural sculpture and claims that the rapper understands the social landscape. He says that's what 6ix9ine really gets. That's what he's best at. That's more of his artistry than any other part of it. Understanding relevance, how to generate and manufacture it. He's super smart in his own way. That should never be mistaken. Understanding the importance and combination of visuals, some people have it and some people don't. Most don't. Part of his brilliance, Commer claims, has been 6ix9ine's ownership of our specific period in history. In 10 or 20 years, people will be like, remember when we were in COVID? This is one of the pinnacle moments in pop culture from that moment. Kathy Iandoli is more skeptical. She coincides that everyone is love-watching and hate-watching Gooba, but ascribes this to pandemic-induced boredom. Rappers versus 6ix9ine. Tekashi 6ix9ine is very aware of his reputation and influence on the internet and is defiant in his antics as he clearly shows he's not leaving anytime soon. His snitching was met with plenty of backlash from music personalities both old and new in the rap game, such as Snoop Dogg, Meek Mill, 21 Savage, Trippie Redd, Jay-Z, and so many more. Some would say these artists are threatened by him, and Tekashi agrees to that, saying they're afraid that he'll pass them up and leave them in the dust when he gets out and starts making hits again. His career is rooted on picking fights and having controversial feuds in his efforts to gain more fame and popularity. This trick has been used by many in the past, most notably 50 Cent, who dissed his way to the throne of rap in the 2000s. But why it has blown up so quickly with Tekashi is mostly because of the new era we're in, the smartphone era where news reaches the far ends of the globes within seconds. His feuds with Meek Mill, Jay-Z, Cardi B, and a few others have left their marks on the internet, with Tekashi not afraid to say anything and everything about the rap stars. Uncovering Meek Mill's past about working with a snitch and the abuse of Nicki Minaj's brother is just a prime example of how rappers can be left wounded if they ever choose to cross paths with the Gooba crooner. Tekashi has put up his facade for so long that the majority of the public don't even know Daniel Hernandez. Stuck in his belief that the people enjoy his angry or party rap and seeing the success, it's not hard to go along with Tekashi in this belief. Another likely theory is that Tekashi only knows how to do one thing, and that is to get under people's skin. And he's not gonna stop anytime soon as long as there's a following behind him. There is one truth, and that is that people develop a tolerance to the rap about drugs, sex, and alcohol after a while. 6ix9ine surprised the world by avoiding death and prison and then daring to return to rap as a known snitch, making jokes about the fact that he told. Realistically, there's no topping that. He can shock us all again selling something of substance, or he can keep pushing the same buttons and praying someone cares.